Hi, everybody.
Hi from Pennsylvania.
Hi from Germany.
Uh, Good evening, Germany.
Yes.
Um,
Where in Pennsylvania, if I may ask?
Yeah, outside of Philadelphia, about 45 minutes, moved to the country um, just 3 summers ago. I was in the city for years and just out here in the country now.
Oh, I lived in Philly in the late 60s and early 70s. So it's I
Oh, oh,
yeah, long time ago.
cool.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi,
I
Christoph.
just started the call. I was talking to the muted microphone at the beginning. So, everybody, my name is Christoph. I think you can hear me. And there's already one hand. Um, Bobby, is that your name? Is that correct? Or is
Yes,
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 okay,
thank
good,
you.
good.
Yeah.
So it's your hand, obviously. So what's going on for you?
Thank you, Christoph, for the call and your commitment to this work. And that's such a gain. And the gain really is being here together um, with other releasers and the love of Lester's work. I,
Yes.
I love I love the rawness and the honesty that I can feel in a group. It's like comes to the surface faster to release because I'm being
Yeah.
seen.
Yes.
Um, I like to feel freer about I'm working with a money goal and just allowing an abundant cash flow with ease.
Uh-huh.
And specifically $1,000 or more a week. Um,
Okay.
and so what came up, what's up presently is like I had a client, a really big client that pays really well, cancel today, and it's perfect because it's just bringing up a bunch of noise. So here I am with a noisy mind about money. Nobody else
So,
has that.
so is that noise coming from a wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness, or bringing any of them?
Little bit of each. It's like a soup.
Okay, so could you
Yeah,
welcome that color of wanting?
yes. Yeah, thank you, Christoph. Yes.
And could you
Yeah.
also welcome the sense that this is personal, that it has to do with you?
Yes.
And then also notice or welcome any remaining wanting to do anything with or about this or against this.
Yes, that's helpful. The resistance, yes.
Yes. And then as best you can, could you just allow that appearance to be as it is? Or was a second ago? A
Right.
fraction of a second ago?
Yes.
And how's it now, Bobby?
It's more settled and quiet, and there's less clutching around my chest now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And is there anything between you and your financial flow or ebb and flow?
Yeah, it feels a little separate from me right now. Yes.
And then could you allow yourself to feel as separate from the flow or the financial flow as much as you do?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And is that bringing up any underlying wanting for control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Approval.
Mm-hmm. And then could you want approval or disapproval as much as you do?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And is there more wanting associated with that?
Safety.
Mm-hmm. And then could you want to be safe as much as you do or unsafe?
Yes.
And then could you just simply welcome acceptance, the flow? And so on.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Mhm. And then could you welcome any remaining resistance to the flow?
Yes.
And then could you just simply welcome acceptance, the flow?
Yes.
And then could you welcome any remaining sense of being separate from the flow?
Yes.
And then could you just simply welcome the flow or the abundance that you are?
Yes.
And then could you allow yourself to appear as powerless about your flow as much as you do?
Yes.
And then could you just simply allow yourself to be the power that is the flow?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to appear as powerless about the flow as much as you do?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to just be the power that is the flow?
Yes.
And again, could you allow yourself to appear as powerless about the flow as much as you do? Or about your
Ooh.
finances?
Yes.
And then could you just allow yourself to be the power that is the flow? To be the source of your
Hmm.
finances?
Yes.
And could you notice if there's any remaining sense of imperfection about what happened with the flow of money?
Yes.
And then could you allow it to be as perfect as it already is?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to welcome or notice any imperfection about the flow of money as you do?
Yes.
Then could you allow yourself to see perfection where the seeming imperfection used to be or seemed to be?
Yes.
Could you allow yourself to see any imperfection about the flow that you are aware of right now?
Yes.
And then could you allow yourself to see perfection where the seeming imperfection seemed or used to be?
Whew. Yes.
So is there anything between you and the flow that you are, between the source of the true source of finances and you?
No.
No. And then could you just expand into that or as that, which is the flow, which is the perfection,
Yes.
which is the abundance?
Yes.
Could you allow yourself to notice the source that you are?
Yes.
And is there anything limited to you right now about the flow or your financial security?
No, it's so quiet, so much
Good.
feeling of gratitude and
Mhm.
unblocked.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody, for releasing along. That's what makes the difference.
Yes, yes, that works for everybody.
Yes. Thank you, Christoph.
You're welcome, Bobby. Thank you too.
Mm.
Let's mute. So, anybody else? Any request for releasing assistance or a group release or any sharing gains or any request related to releasing and to Sedona method in general? Any ideas? Maxine, you can unmute yourself. You did. You can speak up.
Yes. Thank you, Christoph. That was wonderful.
Hope you
So
do.
wonderful. Yes, I mean, it just really um, kind of answered, it helped in terms of me just being more open to my financial flow that's up for me right now.
Yes.
And so it's also kind of dovetailing into my request for assistance. I am contemplating taking this course on investing, and I've been noticing just how overwhelmed I am with some of my obligations in terms of time. I don't have a lot of extra time,
Then
so
stop
the
right there.
study. I
Stop
know.
right
I
there.
think it's my internet connection is not.
Could you welcome the sense of overwhelm?
Ah, yes, thank
You
you. Let's
already gave
let
me
me
the
let me
input.
just I'm sorry.
You already gave me the input to do something about it with that word.
Okay.
It was a
Okay.
trigger.
It's so true. That would be that's wonderful just to be free or allow what is absolutely happening
Yeah,
to have some release around it. Sure.
yes. So could you welcome that sense of overwhelm, either as a thought or as a feeling or both, or as a story?
Yes.
And then could you let go of that feeling of overwhelm? Could you allow yourself to free yourself from that feeling?
Yes.
Mhm. And is there any resistance to letting go of that sense of overwhelm?
Yes.
Mhm. And then could you resist letting go this feeling of overwhelm as much as you do?
Yes.
Mhm. And then could you accept letting go the feeling of overwhelm as best as you can?
Yes.
And could you resist letting go of the overwhelm feeling as much as you do?
Yes.
Mhm. And could you accept letting go of that feeling or memory of overwhelm as best as you can?
Yes.
And then could you resist letting go of any feeling or memory of overwhelm as much as you do or did?
Yes.
And then could you accept letting go of that feeling of overwhelm as best as you can?
Yes.
Mhm. And how are you now, Maxine?
Feel wonderful.
Okay. But just check on what was. Is there anything coming up from the story? Or is it okay for now?
It's wonderful. It's definitely
Okay.
okay for now. I don't even know.
I just wanted to check in if I stopped you from telling the story too early.
Yeah.
But I think it was the right trigger. See, you are bringing the solution on your own. Is you telling me there's a sense of overwhelm? I know we can release that and address that feeling. So you already told me what I have to do with you.
Yes. There is another point that's bothersome for me, and the overwhelm was a huge piece of it that I just hadn't realized. But
Okay.
the second part is I just notice that I procrastinate more
Mhm.
than I have at other times in my life. So this course is going to take consistent focus. And
Mhm.
I'm
Oh,
doubting myself in terms of doing what needs to be done.
okay.
Um,
Is it always procrastination, or do you just sometimes allow it, give it back to the flow and allow it to come in when it's required to come in? Is there both?
That's so interesting. Sometimes, when I procrastinate, for example, when I procrastinate from cleaning the house or what have you, the next thing I know, maybe, I don't know, a short period after or even a day after, I notice myself picking up and cleaning up. And I revel in that. It's so wonderful. It's
Yes.
effortless.
Yes, I
There's that.
understand you.
Yes, there's that. And then there are other times, and I'm using the example of not exercising when I say that I'm going to exercise. So, this course, studying and putting in the time to really learn this new skill, I have some doubts about my consistency with discipline.
Okay. What's the doubt telling you?
That we don't have to do it right now.
Mhm.
That I won't be consistent in learning what I need to learn.
Okay. And is that bringing feelings or is that coming from from some other feeling?
I'm sorry, the
Is
question
that
again?
is that bringing up feelings? Is that triggering something? Something like
Yes.
guilt feeling, or I'm not feeling enough, like I'm not doing enough.
Well, it's bringing up feelings of fear
Ah,
that I won't be able to do it or I won't be good at it.
yes.
So why bother?
Can you sense that fear right now, or
Yes.
some, even if it's far away in the background, it doesn't have to be that big.
It's present right here, right now.
Okay. Hmm. And is that stirring up any wanting security or any wanting to change it, or any other wanting?
I think it's more right now, there is some safety, but I feel right now it's wanting to control my time
Mhm.
or control my procrastination about time.
Yeah.
Control.
And then could you want to control your schedule of time as much as you do?
Can I want to control? Yes.
Mhm. And then could you allow yourself to let it flow as much as the heart wants it to flow?
Yes.
Sometimes if you have ideas that look like procrastination, maybe you're just resting in the moment when you have that idea. I repeatedly said that already. You can just write the idea down and come back to it later. That may cause the mind to become quiet for that moment. Or you just go into action. That's also possible.
So that going into action, I use that strategy a lot. It
Yes,
feels
that's good.
like,
That's good. To have action steps and to have little tasks to do. And that will make you happy and that will bring you forward. It's good to do.
it feels like more the just using my will to get it done and not coming. I get, okay, everything is beingness. Everything is beingness. I get it.
Right. What might be the difference between free will and true intuition? If the mind is clear in that moment,
It
if there's no
just feels,
emotion.
it feels so, it feels more difficult to
Mhm,
push through. It feels
mhm.
more difficult.
Yes.
I have more resistance around pushing to make
Okay.
myself do something.
Could you resist that as much as you do? And could you
I
even
already, I already resisted. Yes, that's why that's the procrastination. I resisted.
and then could
Yes,
you even also resist the resistance?
yes,
And then could you let that go? Could you let go of wanting to control or change, resist, release, understand, avoid the resistance? And could you
yes.
just allow the resistance to melt into the flow?
That's lovely. Yes,
Could you even allow resistance to be part of the flow? At least the vanishing of the resistance.
wow. Allowing the resistance to be a part of the flow.
Right. I
Lovely.
think we often separate. We say it's to things that we don't like. Oh, that can't be part of the flow, and that might be not the fault. We separate that in the head, or there might be some programming running in our mind, and that separates.
Yes, I definitely sense, feel, experience it as separation.
Yes. But what if there's no separation, or if that what feels or appears to be separate is also the flow or part of it, or included?
I'm allowing that. I'm open to that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
And what if the flow as it was in the past was exactly as it should be, even if we don't like it?
Yes.
What if the source wanted it to be exactly that way? I mean, otherwise it couldn't have been happened.
Yes.
If the
Exactly.
source
Like,
didn't want it to be that way, it couldn't happen.
yes. Right. Lovely. Okay,
Okay.
great. Thank you. There's this welling up of just acceptance.
Yes,
It just, just accepting life on life's terms.
yes,
Yes. And this is how it's appearing right here, right now.
yes,
And that's okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah. That it feels so much kinder to myself.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Who else? Any ideas for resistance? I wanted to say. We are so relaxed now and seeking for resistance ideas. So, anybody has any idea for releasing, for group release, or Bobby again? You can just speak up.
Hi, that was beautiful, Maxine. Wow. Um, yeah, the political climate in the United States,
Yes, I know.
there's a lot of political theater going on. Um,
The world sees it. It's not you are just aware of it. The world is aware of it. It's in the media everywhere.
yeah, yeah. So just using it for releasing,
Yes, that's good.
whatever that is. I don't know. It's just up on a big level over here.
So, is there anything that's
Mhm.
buffering you about that? Or is it triggering something?
Um, yeah, mm. Yeah, I have a hard time finding neutral, it's I don't get that involved, but I'll just hear like some kind of slamming from one side or the other, and my heart just goes,
Yes.
ouch, ooh, ow, you know. So yeah, it's triggering. There's no separation. I mean, it's my consciousness too. So
Yes.
um I guess I really resist the whole damn thing. How's that?
There's a clear
resist
how.
all the negativity,
Just
the
resistance.
negativity of just people being
Okay.
so unkind. Mhm.
Mhm. So could you resist that as much as you
Mhm.
do?
Yes.
Mhm. And then
Mm.
also notice any wanting to do anything with or about this or with them.
Go away. Yes. Yes.
And then
Yeah.
as best you can, could you let go wanting to do something with or about this or them?
Yes.
And then could you just simply allow yourself to become somebody like a mutual uh you know I
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
know
Hmm.
what's right viewer or somebody who's just um watching it from a more neutral point of view or
Yeah. There's a feeling of more quiet allowing now. It's coming in. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
could you just allow yourself to watch the theater whenever you watch it?
Yes. Yes.
And then
Yes.
would you be open to the possibility that you could just stay calm or stay relaxed, even while that is happening?
Yes. Yes. It's good.
And is the mind or the emotion bringing something up that's between you and being relaxed? in that political situation in the US?
No, it's really just noticing the resistance. If there was something, it's resistance, and now it's disappearing.
Good.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. So walking through the neighborhood, with big Trump signs and everything, and I stop and breathe, and I'm like, wow,
Yes.
can I just be with the resistance of that energy? Okay, yes, yeah. Yes, that's good. Yes. Yes.
And then could you just allow it to be as it was or appeared to be as best as you can?
Yes. Yes.
And could you also be aware of the fact that
Mm.
what you have seen is already past? Even if you
I
see
know.
the recordings again on YouTube or in the media or in the latest news show or
Yeah, totally. It's kind of weird. Yes. Yes.
that it's already done.
Right.
What could you do about what was? Rather than resist it,
That's that's right. That's right. That's right.
since they didn't
Yeah.
invent a time machine until now.
Yes. 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 Oh, good. A little bit of pride just came up there. A little bit of pride, like I'm better than that time machine. Pride. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Mm. Kind of like go resisting the pride in others and in myself. Yeah.
And what's even beyond that emotion?
Oh,
If you
that's good. Yeah.
if you go deeper, if you
Yeah.
allow yourself
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go beyond.
It's just peace and quiet and
Yes.
allow, yeah, flow.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And could you allow that to expand?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Whew.
Is it okay for now?
It's perfect. Just
Good.
hanging out in the quiet, letting it all happen. Thanks, team. Stay tuned. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I think we're going to do a group release.
Beautiful.
I think we do a general one on resistance.
Why not?
I mute you, Bobby. So, everybody, could you just simply allow yourself to welcome something from your day or from your life or from the latest news or from the political theater in your home country that's stirring up the feeling of resistance, that's stirring up the wanting to change, that's stirring up the wanting it to be different, that's stirring up any wanting to see a particular outcome or to avoid any kind of outcome. And then could you just simply allow yourself as best as you can to be in touch with whatever that brings up inside of you? There might be presidential candidates fighting with each other in your mind, or the political parties fighting with each other, or slamming each other, or on each other. And then could you allow that to be as it is, as best as you can. And then could you also allow yourself to notice any underlying wanting, if that has been stirred up so far, any wanting control, approval, security, separation, or wanting oneness? And whatever that wanting is, or whatever wantings there are, could you want that as much as you do? And then could you allow it to appear as personal as much as it does? And then as best you can, could you let that go? Could you allow it to fade out of mind or consciousness or awareness? And could you just simply allow yourself to notice that, which is actually here and now, beyond political theater, beyond any memory of the latest news? Yet allowing for any of that. Yet being completely unaffected by any of that. And then could you just allow yourself to look if there's more that's stirring up any kind of resistance inside of you, any wanting to change, fix, release, understand, get rid of it, make it better or worse? And whatever that is for you, could you just simply allow yourself to be in touch with that? And if there's nothing for you right now, you don't have to create any. And if there's wanting for you right now, could you just want that as much as you do? And if there's identity for you right now, could you identify with or as that as much as you do? And then as best you can, could you allow that to fade out of mind, of consciousness, of awareness? Just for now. And then could you just simply give it permission or allow it to be as it was, as best as you can? And then could you just simply allow yourself to notice that which is beyond the latest news, beyond the latest political theater. That which is just simply is as it is. Allowing for all of that, it being completely unaffected by any of that. And again, could you welcome anything from your life, from the latest news, from the ongoing political theater that stirred up any kind of resistance inside of you, even slightly, or that made you somehow fearful, of feeling insecure, of feeling separate, of feeling non-loving or disliking it. And whatever that is for you, could you allow that to be here? And then could you want to dislike, want to change, want to avoid, or be one with that as much as you do? And then could you allow it to appear as personal as much as it does? And then as best you can, could you just allow it to be as it was? Could you allow it to fade out of mind, consciousness, of the awareness? And what is left if you allow that? What if there's only that which is aware to anything, yet unaffected by all of that? And what if that is also the true source of life? And then could you just simply allow yourself to resist truth as much as you do or did? And then could you allow yourself to accept truth as best as you can? And then could you allow yourself to resist truth as much as you do or as you did? And then could you allow yourself to accept truth as best as you can? And then could you allow yourself to resist truth as much as you do or did? And then could you accept truth as best as you can? And then could you allow yourself to resist the unfoldment of life as much as you do or did? And then could you allow yourself to accept life as best as you can? And then could you allow yourself to resist the unfoldment of life or life itself as much as you do or did? And then could you allow life to be as it is as best as you can? And if there's any remaining resistance right now, could you want that as much as you do for a second? And then could you just simply welcome acceptance, the flow instead? And could you welcome any remaining sense of resistance? And then could you just simply welcome or allow the flow instead? And what is beyond both? Resistance and the flow. Beyond both concepts. What is that which is aware? What is that which is no thought and no feeling and no sound? What is aware of no thought, no feeling, and no sound? And then could you allow yourself to identify a little bit more as that? Notice that the body just not disappeared and that the word was still there. And then could you just simply allow yourself to be aware, yet unaffected by any of that as best as you can? Hey, everybody. So, anybody has any requests right now? Or any insights to share from the releasing session? Evelyn, you can unmute.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I know Sedona doesn't do health stuff, but I have a headache and it has
Okay.
subsided a little bit from the releasing, but it's still there. It was very hot today.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's the reason, but it's kind of awful. So if there's anything you can do, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, so the Sedona method is not about advising and curing
Yes.
and shouldn't avoid you from taking appropriate medical attention. So yes, that might be said first. But could you want to change that what you call headache as much as you do?
Yes. Yes, of course. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you okay. And then could you let go wanting to change it and allow it to be as it is for a second?
Yes.
And what could you do about headache? Is there any action that you could take that comes to mind? It doesn't have to make sense, by the way. It's just about releasing around that. You can share, but you don't have to share. You can just say if there's something also.
And there's drink some more water. I just finished all the water I have at my desk.
That you drinking water as well.
Yeah.
And is there any wanting associated with that?
Wanting associated with that. I don't understand what you mean.
With drinking water, if that's the action to take, is there any wanting to force yourself to do it or to resist doing it or
Not really. I mean, when the session is over, I just have to walk over to the kitchen and I'm thirsty. So, but since you said, is there anything I can do for the headache? Because it's hot, it might be related. I mean, I've been drinking water all day, but if it's that hot,
okay.
you don't know if it's yeah. And then there's a qigong exercise
Mhm.
that I've been trying to do on my own. But I think I will have to use the recording to do it.
Yes. So how does it feel right now?
Feels a little bit better, but it's still there, and I don't know if
Could
I've
you
ever had
also welcome space at the
space.
same location where the headache used to be or is?
It's difficult. I mean, I can access space around the headache.
Okay, okay. And then could you allow the headache to melt into that space?
Mm,
And then could you allow the space to melt into the headache, into that appearance?
mm, yes.
And then could you allow the headache to melt into the space or into the spaciousness
Mm-hmm.
or into the background?
Mm. Yes.
And then could you allow the space to melt into the headache or whatever is left of that?
Mm.
And then could you allow the space to melt into the headache? And then could you allow the headache to be as it was as best as you can?
Yes.
How's it now, Evelyn?
It's better, but there's still a lot of tension. I'm kind of I don't think I've ever had a headache like this, but I think water is a very good idea. So thank you for that. And thank you also for making it better. Thank you.
You're welcome. So everybody, I think we did some good releasing today. So
Mhm.
our hour is done. So it's time to say bye-bye if we want.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christoph.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
so much,
everybody.
Christoph. This was
Bye-bye.
wonderful,
Yes.
just wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yes.
Thank
Namaste. Namaste.
you. Namaste. Bye.